Residents 18 years or older who reside in Arkansas. Contest ends 12/31/26. Void where prohibited.
Where the Hogs hit the hardwood. 103.7 The Buzz. KABZ, Little Rock.
Arkansas, an outdoor paradise. People travel hundreds of miles to enjoy what, well, some of us take for granted. We aren't called the natural state without reason, with an abundance of rivers, lakes, and streams loaded with adventure. Scenic views that will take your breath away. Biking trails and back roads just begging to be discovered. Sit back and relax as Ray Tucker and longtime journalist Brian Hendricks explore our magnificent state with this week's edition of Ray Tucker's Arkansas Outdoors. Brought to you by Honda of North Little Rock, your family fun headquarters.
All right, what a beautiful, beautiful spring day. A lot of places across our state got much needed rain over the weekend, Brian.
Did get a lot of much needed rain. I was out at Lake Ouachita for a day or so, and it came up a little bit. It's still low, but it looks great, and the fish are biting.
No pictures, no fish.
Well, I wasn't fishing, but I was watching people who were. I wasn't catching anything.
What about Beaver Lake up in northwest Arkansas?
Beaver Lake is always good. One of the great striper lakes of the South, and definitely one of the better ones in Arkansas. And one of the people that guides for stripers on Beaver Lake is an old friend, Don Andreessen, of I believe it's Beaver Lake Guide Service. He's going to correct me if that's wrong, but welcome, Don Andreessen, to Ray Tucker's Arkansas Outdoors.
Yeah, Beaver Fever Striper Guide Service.
Beaver Fever Striper Guide Service.
Oh, we got somebody on the line that's got a deeper voice than we do.
How's it going up there? How are they biting? It's right in the middle of the prime time there, isn't it?
Well, it should be. They're sort of spotty right now. They were doing good, and then we had all that heat in the spring there, and it sort of knocked them off a little bit. But we catching fish every day. It's just not the numbers.
All right, I have to ask you this, and we've experienced a drought in Arkansas, unlike anything we've seen in a number of years. I know a lot of our lakes down here in central Arkansas, the Little Red River, White River, whatever. Your lake, Beaver Lake, you got plenty of water or no?
Yeah, it's about normal.
Yeah, Ray, the way that White River chain is configured, Don can explain it better than I can, but it's not like Beaver feeds Table Rock feeds Bull Shoals, so it seems like the water levels there are a little bit more stable than they are in the lakes down here in the Ouachita chain. Is that accurate, Don?
Well, we've been having some really nice or severe storms that have been lots of rain in them, downpours, which fill it up pretty easy.
Well, tell us about Beaver. Tell us about Beaver Fever Striper Guide Service. What all does that entail?
Oh, we supply boats, rods, reels, bait, everything. You got to buy your fishing license. About all you got to do, and we've been in business I've been doing it for 47 years now. Striper guiding on Beaver Lake, and we do live bait strictly, and we're pretty good at what we do.
Been around a long time. Do you do the balloon thing? Do you do downriggers? What is your preferred method of fishing? Starting now, going through
we sort of long line with different weights and control the depth by the speed of the trolling motor and how the boat's running. If you see fish, or you're moving around all the time with like a trout line out, we put out 10 rods, 10, 12 rods. And when you come across fish, you just slow down and let your baits go down in them, and they start whacking at you.
Beaver is it's the uppermost of the big reservoirs on the White River chain, and it's kind of defined by a pretty steep channel, steep banks, rocky banks. You've got a couple of big creeks that come in at Prairie Creek. You've got Hickory Creek and a few others. Explain how you go about, if you would, finding fish this time of year. How do you follow their spawning movements?
Well, they were in the rivers, and now they're starting to come out of the rivers, and they're moving to mid-lake. Some fish always stay up north on the north end. Water has stayed fairly clear, so from all the rain we had, it's still pretty fishable water on the mid-lake. And right now they're sort of top watering early in the morning and hitting shad on planer boards, and then they go deep. About 10:30ish, you start using perch and chain. I like using perch later in the day. Things like that.
I can't even imagine catching a big striper on the top water.
Yep, they hit them planer boards pretty good early in the morning.
When you're talking,
it changes. Fishing is all according to your weather patterns and rain, what you get.
When you
got work.
When you're talking about top waters, are you throwing Zara spooks, or what are they going after?
Oh, we have caught some fish on red fins, but mostly I drag live shad. That's basically all I've done my whole life is drag the live bait.
Is it?
We run.
Go ahead. Sorry to interrupt.
Oh, we're running 3 boats right now. I got 2 other guys that work with me, and we've been staying fairly busy. It's just top water time now, and here in a little bit, about June, they start going down deep.
What time in the morning do they start blowing up on the surface, and do they also do that in the evening time?
Yeah, they do in the evening, early in the morning. You got an overcast day, sometimes they'll come up when the wind lays down in the middle of the day. You just got to be out there when they're doing the top water thing. When you get a big surface thing going on, is it one of those things that covers several acres, or is it pretty localized? Well, that's just, these fish we got a lot of fish in this lake, but they're so schooled up. Yes, it could be a big area sometimes, and then sometimes it's spotty. I've done it so many years now. You just gotta be persistent at it, and be, I fish every day, and I see it different just about every day. There's no real steady patterns to the top water fishing. It depends on if you got a lot of wind or if it's a calm day. It's overcast. There's a lot of things that can determine how they're going to hit that morning.
Tell us about the boat you're running.
I'm running a 28-foot Machaira. It's a nice boat, twin-engine 300s, but my other boats are 24-foot Blue Waves. We got spare boats in case we do have one tear up. We take out pretty close to about 600 trips a year. I personally run about 270 trips a year. I've done it my whole life. I'm getting up there, but still enjoy it every day I'm out there.
So your boat's a good center console with plenty of room?
Yeah, Blue Waves. We usually fish 4 to 5 people, easy. We can do 6 people in the boat. That's about the max.
All right, Donnie, we're visiting with Don Andreessen of Striper Fever, Beaver Fever Striper Guide Service. And can you stay with us for another segment, Don?
Yeah.
All
that'd
right.
be fine.
We'll be right back with Ray Tucker's Arkansas Outdoors. Hang with us. We're talking striper fishing in northwest Arkansas.
Ray Tucker here for Honda of North Little Rock. If you're a fan of the Triumph motorcycles, I have good news for you. Honda of North Little Rock carries the legendary classics to the cutting-edge rides. We carry Daytona 600, the iconic Bonneville Bobber, the TF450X, the stunning Bonneville Elvis Presley Edition, plus the Rocket 3 Evel Knievel. We have gear, bikes, and full service for Triumph enthusiasts, and much, much more. Come see us at Honda of North Little Rock, your family fun headquarters.
Spring has sprung, and incredible deals are hatching at Gwatney Buick GMC during their Spring Trade and Save Sales event. This includes extraordinary savings on 2026 GMC Terrain front-wheel drive Elevation, as low as $279 per month. Find a basket full of savings on GMC Sierra 1500 Elevation Crew Cab with Turbo Max engine, up to 20% below MSRP. Buick deals so good you won't hear a peep out of the competition. New Encore GX at just $199 a month. Plus, the entire Buick lineup is available at just 0.9% during the Spring Trade and Save Sales event. Call 501-945-4444. Come see your peeps at Gwatney Buick GMC, 5700 Landers Road in North Little Rock. GwatneyBuickGMC.com. GMC, we are professional grade. Some vehicles require qualifying trade-in. All offers with approved credit. Sierra based on MSRP of $55,370. Terrain and Encore are low mileage leases. See dealer for details.
Arkansas sports fans, get ready to tee it up with the legends. The annual Arkansas Sports Hall of Fame Celebrity Golf Tournament is set for June 8th at Chenal Country Club. Grab your team for a 4-man scramble and get paired with a celebrity for a day of golf, stories, and unforgettable moments. It's your chance to play along the names you've cheered for. Spots are limited, so sign up now at arksportshalloffame.com, arksportshalloffame.com, or call 501-313-4158.
Ray Tucker here for Honda of North Little Rock. If you're a fan of the Triumph motorcycles, I have good news for you. Honda of North Little Rock carries the legendary classics to the cutting-edge rides. We carry Daytona 600, the iconic Bonneville Bobber, the TF450X, the stunning Bonneville Elvis Presley Edition, plus the Rocket 3 Evel Knievel. We have gear, bikes, and full service for Triumph enthusiasts, and much, much more. Come see us at Honda of North Little Rock, your family fun headquarters.
Ever wonder what bugs do when you're not looking? With Bugtopia at the Little Rock Zoo, the world beneath your feet gets big. Like really big. Meet the bugs that pollinate, build, and buzz our planet to life, up close and larger than ever. Bugtopia, crawling into the Little Rock Zoo March 21st through September 20th. It's wonder magnified and included with your zoo admission. Learn more at littlerockzoo.com.
This is Anthony Lucas, here to tell you about my favorite spot in Little Rock, Corky's. Sure, Corky's may look all ribs and barbecue on the outside, but did you know Corky's was also nominated for Central Arkansas's best catfish? And don't get me started on their chicken, shrimp, and nachos.
Those Big Joe burgers, Anthony.
Big Joe, when did you get here?
You really stealing my thunder, Anthony. Corky's is my place.
No way you love Corky's like me, Joe.
Talk to me when you have your own menu item, Lucas.
Corky's ribs and barbecue.
Ray Tucker here for Honda of North Little Rock. If you're a fan of the Triumph motorcycles, I have good news for you. Honda of North Little Rock carries the legendary classics to the cutting-edge rides. We carry Daytona 600, the iconic Bonneville Bobber, the TF450X, the stunning Bonneville Elvis Presley Edition, plus the Rocket 3 Evel Knievel. We have gear, bikes, and full service for Triumph enthusiasts, and much, much more. Come see us at Honda of North Little Rock, your family fun headquarters.
And welcome back to Ray Tucker's Arkansas Outdoors. We're visiting with Don Andreessen of Beaver Fever Striper Guide Service up in, are you in Rogers or Springdale?
We're out of Garfield, Arkansas.
Garfield. And if you would, describe what it's like for people that have never fished for stripers. What is it like to be out on Beaver Lake on a cool spring day like we've got going on right now, and you describe how the outing starts, and what is it like when one finally nails one of your baits?
Well, early morning it is top water. Usually you'll see them blow your shad out of the water, and or it boils, and you got to set the hook real hard. And I use live shad. They get nervous before they bend the rod, and I'll say, watch that rod over there. He's getting nervous, and wham, they hit it, and you really got to hit them hard and set the hook, and you got them.
Let me ask you this. I'm a long-time bass fisherman, largemouth, smallmouth. Sell me on the idea of striper fishing.
Well, early morning is usually your best bite, and then the rest of the day, they may move. You'll have to find where they went. There's striper fishing that you just got to stay after them. They'll swim close to 30 miles in a day, they say, and you just never know when you're going to cross or, get over them. And it's just, there is patience in it, but then again, if you hit a school, you can be done. You can limit out real quick. It's fishing.
What is...
I don't know what else to say.
What's an average size Beaver Lake striper, and what are your biggest ones?
Average is around 10, 12 pounds now. Okay. Used to be a lot better, but their size has gone down some.
And the largest you've caught?
Oh, the largest this year so far is 35.
And folks, that's 35 pounds, not inches.
Yep.
Yeah, 35-pound fish. We got, probably 8 or 9 fish over 30 pounds so far this year.
Do you have the trees on the bottom like they have on Lake Ouachita, where if you hook a big one, it's heading straight for those trees and you've got to fight them out of there?
Oh, yes. Yeah. But periodically you find them, like if you get them in the rivers and stuff, they'll be in more open water, a lot less trees.
What's the longest you've ever had a client have to fight one to get one in, and how big was that fish?
This goes back a few years, but I had one fight a fish down the river channel about a mile, and it went up on the shelf flats. It went back out in the channel. It was like he had a trolling motor battery on, and he got it right up to the boat. I just almost could see that fish. The cork was right there, and that guy was just exhausted, and he couldn't pick his rod up, and that fish actually flipped the hook right there at the boat.
Oh.
And it's a fish I always thought about. I just wondered how big he was.
Before we run out of time here, Don, tell folks how they can get in touch with you, what your rates are, and et cetera, please.
Okay, we're Beaver Fever Striper Guide Service. We're out of Garfield. You can call me at 479-640-2091 is my cell phone. I'm really easy to find. Don Andreessen on Beaver Lake Striper Guide, and that's pretty well. I got a good website. Goes back to 2003 when it was built. All the pictures of all the fish that we've caught are documented in that website. It's got a lot of history if you want to look through it and see what month you'd like to fish. It's all dated, every picture.
And what is the website again?
BeaverFeverGuides.com.
Well, Don, it's been a pleasure talking to you. I know I used to speak with you quite a bit when I was up at the Springdale paper back in the 90s, and we were all a lot younger then, but the fishing was very good then too, and it's good to see that you're still at it and still thriving and successful. And people going up to Northwest Arkansas for whatever reason, if you want to catch a Razorback baseball game or whatever, and you want to do some fishing, look up Don Andreessen at Beaver Fever Striper Guide Service and go out and get some of that.
I appreciate it.
All right. Don Andreessen of Garfield. And, hey, we're all about fishing here on Ray Tucker's Arkansas Outdoors. And Ray's ready. You should have seen his face light up when he started talking about catching them on topwaters.
I grew up bass fishing over in Phillips County and Lee County and Bear Creek, Storm Creek Lake, and that's one of my favorite things to do. And you and I have done quite a bit of that.
We have, and the first striper I ever hooked was on beaver, and I was on one of these little two-man, single little bass boats with that little pontoon on it. Had a 3-horsepower motor, and I went across Prairie Creek and hooked one, same as what he was talking about. Had one drag me around the lake for a while before I finally lost it.
And by the way, you don't have to go to northwest Arkansas to striper fish.
You can do that here at Lake Ouachita, Lake Hamilton, and
Lake Maumelle.
No. They haven't had stripers in Lake Maumelle in a long time, but I caught
a big striper there.
Long time ago.
Yeah, it was a long time ago. A long time ago.
All right. Well, we're going to take us a little break here on Ray Tucker's Arkansas Outdoors. We'll be right back with Bobby Dennis, the legendary lure maker from Hot Springs, Arkansas.
I thought maybe you caught them all.
Ray Tucker here for Honda of North Little Rock. If you're a fan of the Triumph motorcycles, I have good news for you. Honda of North Little Rock carries the legendary classics to the cutting-edge rides. We carry Daytona 600, the iconic Bonneville Bobber, the TF450X, the stunning Bonneville Elvis Presley Edition, plus the Rocket 3 Evel Knievel. We have gear, bikes, and full service for Triumph enthusiasts, and much, much more. Come see us at Honda of North Little Rock, your family fun headquarters.
Take it from Arkansas greats Joe Klein and Pat Bradley.
The big national sports apps are now in Arkansas, taking over Oaklawn and Bentley, which are no longer local.
Making Bet Saracen the only real local app.
Still Arkansans' fan fave.
Plus, Bet Saracen is still the official sports betting app of many of the state's colleges and universities.
Bet Saracen, built by Arkansans for Arkansans.
Bet with Arkansans. Bet with Bet Saracen.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-MY-RESET.
This is the Pigskin Preacher bringing you the word. Everywhere you go these days, you run into conspiracy theories. It is remarkable the stuff that is so obviously false that many people continue to insist that is true. I don't buy most conspiracy theories, but I simply cannot accept the lone gunman Oswald killing JFK. Watch the 2021 documentary JFK Revisited Through the Looking Glass. The evidence is overwhelming that a conspiracy happened, likely one led by CIA Chief Allen Dulles. Perhaps one day we'll all find out. Doublebees warmly welcomes all, regardless of whether you think it was the mob, the Cubans, the Russians, or the CIA that did it. Doublebees is for America in general, and Arkansas in particular. Doublebees is for you. Doublebees. It's where you gas it, grab it, and go. That's Doublebees.
Golf is a game of precision and power. Every detail matters. The same must be true for luxury. Genesis delivers with every stroke of craftsmanship, every stitch of quality, and every surge of performance. During the Genesis Signature event, get 0.99% financing on a new GV80 or GV70. Experience the Genesis GV80 or GV80 Coupe for yourself at Genesis of Conway. The future of luxury today.
Your heart works hard for you every day. Are you taking care of it? UAMS Health makes it easy with our heart health screening. For just $99, you will receive a heart CT scan, cholesterol and glucose testing, kidney and blood pressure assessments, plus stroke risk screening, all with same-day results. If you're over 35 or have a family history of heart disease, this screening is for you. Healthy heart, healthy you, healthy future. Call UAMS Health at 501-603-1222. That's 501-603-1222.
Down south, a handshake means something, and we let our actions do the talking. The Brad Hendricks Law Firm is rooted in Southern tradition and grit. Southern-born and raised and Arkansas-based, Brad Hendricks is named a Mid-South super lawyer year after year. So for car and big truck wrecks, medical malpractice, wrongful death, bankruptcy, and Social Security claims, his law firm produces results. The Brad Hendricks Law Firm. Southern roots, serious results.
Ray Tucker here for Honda of North Little Rock. If you're a fan of the Triumph motorcycles, I have good news for you. Honda of North Little Rock carries the legendary classics to the cutting-edge rides. We carry Daytona 600, the iconic Bonneville Bobber, the TF450X, the stunning Bonneville Elvis Presley Edition, plus the Rocket 3 Evel Knievel. We have gear, bikes, and full service for Triumph enthusiasts, and much, much more. Come see us at Honda of North Little Rock, your family fun headquarters.
It is time now to talk to Neil Atkinson, Sarah Casino Resort down in Pine Bluff. Neil, you got I said this earlier today at 4:20, and you talking about a full slate tonight. You've got a full one.
Yeah, I got NBA playoffs. Detroit Pistons, Cleveland Cavaliers just now underway. Detroit was actually favored in this game coming into it. Cleveland's out for an early 16-5 lead. Currently, they are favored by 7.5 in live betting. And then later on, Oklahoma City Thunder, a lot of Arkansas players on Oklahoma City. They are a regional favorite. They can sweep the Lakers tonight. They are a 12.5-point favorite. I don't know how they don't come up with only 12.5 because they've beaten the Lakers by at least 18 the first 3 games. And Oklahoma City has not lost a playoff game yet this year. Let's see if tonight's the first time. And, of course, we got Major League Baseball, I think 5 or 6 games in play. You got the NHL playoffs going for the Stanley Cup. 1 game tonight, Avalanche and the Wild. And, of course, WNBA tomorrow night after the opening week. PGA coming up. Just so much going on.
You won't believe it. The TV in the studio here is on a hockey game and a fight broke out.
Well, I think that's why we watch it, but at least that's why I do sometimes, and they're even funner in the playoffs.
Neil, appreciate you very much. Folks, download the app, BetSaracen.com. Thanks, Neil.
All right. Good luck, everybody.
And we're back with Ray Tucker's Arkansas Outdoors, and we're going to Hot Springs to visit with an old friend, Bobby Dennis, one of the great lure makers of all time. And a lot of the lures that you have used for decades, Bobby either designed them or was involved in the design of it. And welcome to Ray Tucker's Arkansas Outdoors, Bobby Dennis.
All right, we'll get Bobby to call us back. We couldn't get locked in there. Can't get Neil dropped on line 1 here. And so we'll work on that.
Well, after that introduction, how am I going to follow that up?
Well, I don't know.
I was talking to Bobby last night, and he's got another one in the making. And do we have him back?
We're punching him up now.
All right. So
that's called ad lib, okay?
Ad lib. Well, Bobby was involved with Norman Lures for a long time with Cotton Cordell, and I think we've got him. No?
When you see his name up there, we got him. Okay.
Right, well, I thought I heard noise. We got this brand new super duper board, and we're still struggling to get people on.
All right, Damon, rescue us here.
Bobby, go ahead.
No, I said it wasn't you, it was me. I can build a fishing lure, but I can't use the phone. It's amazing.
Bobby, tell us, if you would, take us through your history as a designer. You were with Cotton Cordell for a long, long time, with Norman for a long, long time, and there's always a brain behind the great things, the great innovations in all sports, and you've been there. So, how did that all get going?
Well, I mean, I got in the industry because my 2 best friends, Mike Cordell and Joe Williams, and we would fish together in the afternoons. We'd leave school and go somewhere. And so I went to work for Cotton one year. I decided I was too smart to be in college. And so he gave me a job. And then he told me if I go back to school, that if I graduated, I'd have a job when I got out. So I did, and he made me shipping clerk. And then Cotton was one of these guys that he wanted you to do everything. You had to bend spinnerbait wires. You had to hook lures. He had me painting lures, dyeing bucktails, which is the worst job anybody will ever have in their whole life. So you really had to do it all. And in the process, it generates ideas. When you know how to do all that stuff, you create colors in your mind. You know why things work the way they do, and why certain plastics work better than other plastics. And so it really just feeds the mind when you can do all that to develop new stuff.
And, you know, for all the things that you've been involved with, one of your pet peeves is how much these things cost versus how much they cost to make.
Well, yeah, and I hope I don't make anybody mad here, but in another way, I don't care. So years ago, the Chinese and the Japanese, they could make a lure look the way it was supposed to be, but they couldn't make it work. Well, when they figured out how to make them work, obviously a lot of people started going over there and having product made. Well, at some point, those guys looked up one day and they said, wait a minute, we're selling these products to these manufacturers, these companies, and they're selling them for a lot more than we're getting for it. And so they created their own brand names. All of a sudden, you had River to Sea, and you had IMA, and you had just Uzuri and Megabass, and all these companies that decided, wait a minute, why am I using a middle guy? And when that happened, the prices didn't reflect it. In other words, these people were making it, they were selling it to the manufacturers at one price. Well, now they're still making it the same price, but they're selling it on the retail market at what they would have if they went through a middle guy, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. So when you look at some of these $50, $60 lures, what do you see?
It's a joke. Absolute joke. And I don't care if somebody wants to get mad or not. There's not a dollar's worth of difference in any lure out there. I don't care what anybody says. Because, you know, the only thing that changed was, for instance, at Norman, we had a line called Professional Edge. Now, 2 sets of Gamakatsu hooks at that time cost about 50 cents. A set of BMCs were about 8 cents. So I get that. But you're still only talking, you're talking way less than $1 that you added to the cost. But the other thing that's happened is that because of all the consolidation and these holding companies and investment guys, they'll buy 8 or 9 brands, and because they control a little bit of the market, they charge whatever they want. And so I understand they have to make a profit, and I understand that that's how they're judged. But at the same time, the one being hurt by it is the occasional fisherman, not necessarily the tournament guy. And I'll tell you this, I've been asked a million times about LiveScope. There's 700,000 Bassmaster members. There's 15 million fishing licenses sold. Who's my customer? It breaks my heart that I don't see kids walking down the road with a fishing rod anymore. I don't know how many of them are learning to fish in a creek or a pond like I did, like Mike did, like Joe Williams did, all of us did. Mm-hmm. And so you learn the ins and outs of it, and you learn why fish did what they do and what conditions were. And now it's almost a video game in some cases. Well, that's okay for those 700,000 guys. I get it. But I'm way more interested in the occasional guy and the guy that's just doing it for fun. I'll tell you this. I can show you a picture. I was at a store promotion in 1978. We were selling big O's. Are you ready for this?
Yeah.
$1.10.
And that's
we were selling Rebel deep Ours were $1.40, $1.25. And so, back then they were hand painted. Now they're machine painted, and they cost way more money.
Yeah, and those lures, they're still around, but it's kind of like it seemed like hardly anybody uses like Bomber and Rebel and all the those great brands anymore.
Well, here's the proof in the pudding. Go to a box store, and there's boxes on the base deck, and those lures are anywhere from $1.99 to $3.99. Made by the same company, using the same plastic, for a lure hanging on the counter that costs $8. Now, figure that out. Now, a Bomber Model A will work just as good now. A Deep We Are, a Norman Deep Little N. And so, with those 700,000 guys, it's a trend. And they think maybe because it costs more, it's going to work better. Well, we all know that confidence is a great thing in fishing. So, if that helps them a little bit, I get it. But, again, there is no reason for them to cost what they do. I can tell you a major box store right now that the buyer told me, he said, I'm sick to my stomach about the price increases I'm having. And then you walk into Dick's Sporting Goods here in Hot Springs, they don't have fishing anymore. It's priced completely out of the normal customer guy that's not a tournament guy.
Yeah, they've really changed their model quite a bit. You know, they kind of got out of the gun business there. I don't know, what was it, 10, 15 years ago? And now it's like you say, there's a little bit of a drop down in the fishing stuff too. And I don't know, it's like you're kind of limited in your retail outlets where you can go to get this stuff in some ways.
Well, here's another thing that caught my attention several years ago. If you go buy a fishing reel, and there's one for $100 and there's one for $300, you can tell why that costs more. One of them has more ball bearings. One of them has better components. One of them has a better finish, has a better drag. But when you're talking about fishing lures, you tell me the difference between a $4 lure and a $25 lure. I dare you.
Well, I tell you what, we're going to take a break here on Ray Tucker's Arkansas Outdoors, and I'm going to think of a reason. How about that?
Okay.
All right, hang with us, Bobby Dennis. We'll be right back.
All right.
Ray Tucker here for Honda of North Little Rock. If you're a fan of the Triumph motorcycles, I have good news for you. Honda of North Little Rock carries the legendary classics to the cutting-edge rides. We carry Daytona 600, the iconic Bonneville Bobber, the TF450X, the stunning Bonneville Elvis Presley Edition, plus the Rocket 3 Evel Knievel. We have gear, bikes, and full service for Triumph enthusiasts, and much, much more. Come see us at Honda of North Little Rock, your family fun headquarters.
Spring has sprung, and incredible deals are hatching at Gwatney Buick GMC during their Spring Trade and Save Sales event. This includes extraordinary savings on 2026 GMC Terrain front-wheel drive Elevation, as low as $279 per month. Find a basket full of savings on GMC Sierra 1500 Elevation Crew Cab with Turbo Max engine, up to 20% below MSRP. Buick deals so good you won't hear a peep out of the competition. New Encore GX at just $199 a month. Plus, the entire Buick lineup is available at just 0.9% during the Spring Trade and Save Sales event. Call 501-945-4444. Come see your peeps at Gwatney Buick GMC, 5700 Landers Road in North Little Rock. GwatneyBuickGMC.com. GMC, we are professional grade. Some vehicles require qualifying trade-in. All offers with approved credit. Sierra based on MSRP at $55,370. Terrain and Encore are low mileage leases. See dealer for details.
Hi, this is Joe Klein, former Razorback and owner of Corky's Ribs and Barbecue.
And I'm Anthony Lucas, also a proud former Razorback and Corky's Barbecue regular customer.
We may represent different sports in different decades, but all generations of hogs agree.
Corky's is the only place to get the most delicious ribs and barbecue at a winning price.
So stop into Corky's now and every day for never-ending specials.
Corky's,
where the hogs come home, baby.
Corky's Ribs and Barbecue.
Hit a home run with your next project at Natural State Wholesale, The Warehouse, 2011 North 2nd Street in Cabot. Knock it out of the park with unbeatable savings on building materials. From flooring to faucets, shingles to bathtubs, butcher block countertops to ceiling fans. They've got everything you need to build your dream. Don't strike out paying high prices. Call 501-605-8739 and score big savings today. Natural State Wholesale, The Warehouse, where every deal is a home run.
Looking for something unique to do in Little Rock? Head to the Museum of Discovery. Explore hands-on exhibits, try real science experiments, and meet live animals up close. Little ones will love the Small Fry Fish Camp Gallery, designed just for early learners. Catch an electrifying bipolar musical Tesla coil show or live science demonstration during your visit. And with special events happening all the time, there's always something new to experience for all ages. So plan your visit and check out upcoming events at museumofdiscovery.org.
Take it from Arkansas greats Joe Klein and Pat Bradley.
The big national sports apps are now in Arkansas, taking over Oaklawn and Bentley, which are no longer local.
Making Bet Saracen the only real local app.
Still Arkansas's fan fave.
Plus, Bet Saracen is still the official sports betting app of many of the state's colleges and universities.
Bet Saracen, built by Arkansans for Arkansans.
Bet with Arkansans. Bet with Bet Saracen.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-MY-RESET.
Ray Tucker here for Honda of North Little Rock. If you're a fan of the Triumph motorcycles, I have good news for you. Honda of North Little Rock carries the legendary classics to the cutting-edge rides. We carry Daytona 600, the iconic Bonneville Bobber, the TF450X, the stunning Bonneville Elvis Presley edition, plus the Rocket 3 Evel Knievel. We have gear, bikes, and full service for Triumph enthusiasts, and much, much more. Come see us at Honda of North Little Rock, your family fun headquarters.
All right, we're back with Ray Tucker's Arkansas Outdoors. We're visiting with Bobby Dennis of Hot Springs, a great lure designer, in on a lot of the history of fishing, and I was trying to come up with a reason to rebut you, Bobby, and I just couldn't find one.
I don't think you're going to.
No,
he wouldn't dare.
This is what really gets my attention. Now, I can't mention this name because they are a customer, but I'll just say it's a major online retailer. And he told me to my face, I really don't have any interest in selling economically priced lures. And I was like, what? Yeah, that's not my customer. Wow. So you're telling me that if I sell you something based on what it costs and you can make more money and the customer has a better price, you're not interested? No, I'm not. We like the really high-end stuff. Okay. All right. One of my very closest friends, and I just hate what happened with Aaron Martins. But I was at an all-star tournament, and Aaron was in the boat with some high school kids, and he was doing fishing tips and showing them lures. And he was sponsored by a company that probably makes the highest priced stuff in the world. I don't want to mention that, but he got finished, and he came over to me and he goes, let me ask you something. And I told him, let me ask you something. How many of those kids do you think can afford a $27 fishing lure? I never thought of that. So who are we discouraging? Yeah. And that's what gets me. I just don't. I don't know how we're promoting fishing to the younger generation if we're pricing ourselves out of the market.
Well, you're right. I never see any kids walking down the street with fishing rods on their shoulders, but I do see them walking down the street with live scope units on their shoulders.
Yeah, it's my son just let his dog in here. He's got a lab that's chasing me around. Anyway, I'm right there with you. I don't, like I said, I don't see kids walking down the road with fishing rods anymore. I will tell you, living in Hot Springs, it's kind of refreshing to know that around here, especially, a lot of the tackle stores or even the convenience stores, they sell much more worms, crickets, minnows than they do lures. Is that great for me? Not necessarily, but somewhere down the road it probably will be. But I just like to see people see people going fishing.
Well, it's kind of it's a mental thing, when you first start out fishing and you do buy what you can afford, and it might be a couple of Model A bombers or something like that. You go out and catch fish with it. You know what I'm talking about, Bobby. You do well,
yeah.
But somewhere along the line, you convince yourself that that's not good enough. Mm-hmm. And and then you got to get bigger, more expensive stuff, and you're still catching the same fish, and you're probably not catching any more or any bigger or any greater catch rate. But we've deluded ourselves into thinking we need that stuff.
See, I have friends that think every 3 years they got to buy a new golf club.
Yeah,
and nothing wrong with the old ones.
Right.
Oh yeah. Well, and obviously we created a new brand name, Headhunter, a couple of years ago. And one of the issues was that we wanted to get the pricing down there. Now, obviously, you want to sell a lot of them, but still, I'm just saying it's got to be at some point, economical, that the fishermen can go do it. They can do more of it. Let me ask you this. Do you still get excited to see a bobber go into the water?
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. But here's the other thing, though, is I'm too cool for those red and white bobbers that clip onto the line now. I gotta use the Thill balsa bobber with the the bobber stopper and all that stuff. So there's even elitism in the bobber world.
So I had one of my pro fishermen at the time. he was from Louisiana, and you probably know Cliff Crochet.
Yeah, Cliff Crochet.
And he and his wife were here, and he wanted to go up and meet Bobby Murray and get a picture with the first Classic trophy. Bobby took us out in the shop, and after about 15 minutes, Cliff said, "Hey, Mr. Murray," he goes, "I don't see any braid on any of your reels." And Bobby said, "I spent the first 30 years of my life trying not to have to use braid, okay? I don't care if I ever pick up another piece of braid in my whole life." And you catch just as many. I mean, that's the other thing. A deep line will still catch them. A bomber will still catch them. A deep weir will still catch them. I've caught just as many on a floating redfin as anything. So they still work. It's all trends. It's all, the flavor of the month.
Well, they still work. And see, you're talking about lures out that fish probably haven't seen in how many decades. And so, you're going right back to something that's brand new, really, even though it's been around forever.
I mentioned one of the first couple of times I was ever around Cotton Cordell. I told him I'd been fishing his pond, and he said, "What do you catch them on?" I said, "A plastic worm." He goes, "Anybody that throw a plastic worm or shoot a duck sitting on the water." He thought that was way too easy.
Yeah.
And then I realized, all you young guys out there, you're going, "That guy's old, he's full of baloney." Okay. But I can promise you this, I can go buy 5 lures for $25. It's as good as anything you're paying $25 for one of them.
I mean, how many guys, mine and Brian's age, didn't have a Zebco to start out?
Well, I thought I was really up there when I had a Zebco 33.
Yeah.
But then I got in the boat with Mike Cordell, and Cotton had given him an Ambassador 5000. So then I had to have one of those, and I thought there was never going to be anything greater than that.
Was that the red one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's another thing. Think about this a second. Before there was an Ambassador 5000, you had a few spinning reels that were either 3 or 4 to 1. The Ambassador was 5.2.
And that was
before
fast,
that, all your casting reels were 1 to 1.
Mm-hmm.
And they would never make a crankbait work.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until they came out with the higher speed reels that the lures we have today could even perform.
I was fishing with my brother. We were trolling for stripers on Ouachita yesterday, and he still uses that stuff. And so we were trolling, or he was trolling, something 40, 50 yards behind the boat. Bobby, it took half the night to reel that thing in.
Yeah. Well, David, what's his name, over on Douglas, won a tournament, a BASS Elite a couple of years ago. David Walker doing what they call strolling. See, in an elite tournament or Bassmaster tournament, you can't troll.
Yeah.
What he was doing is he was letting so much. He would just hit the free spool, put the trolling motor on high, just let out all the line that he could, and then just start slowly bringing it back.
Yep.
And they called it strolling. Well, they outlawed that eventually.
Yeah. So, what is in your mind when you're creating a lure? What are you trying to accomplish?
Well, first I want to catch something with it, obviously. And then secondly, I've always felt like fish hit something they haven't seen before, whether it's a shape, a design, a color, or whatever. And it's really getting hard to do. I mean, when you think about the innovations we've had and where it's come from to where it is now, it's hard to come up with something new. I'll give you a perfect example, Whopper Plopper.
Mm-hmm.
That was built because there was a musky lure called a top raider that was about 8 inches long. And so the guy made one that was, very, very small. And I tell people all the time that most what we call designing lures is adapting from something that's there.
Well, I misread the clock, Bobby. I misread the clock. We're out of time with you.
I told you wrong.
Okay.
Hey, we'll be back. We'll have Bobby on again. Thank you, Bobby Dennis, for joining us, and always a pleasure talking to you.
Got a little history lesson. Thanks, Bobby.
Thanks, guys.
All right, we'll talk to you later.
Ray Tucker here for Honda of North Little Rock. If you're a fan of the Triumph motorcycles, I have good news for you. Honda of North Little Rock carries the legendary classics to the cutting-edge rides. We carry Daytona 600, the iconic Bonneville Bobber, the TF450X, the stunning Bonneville Elvis Presley Edition, plus the Rocket 3 Evel Knievel. We have gear, bikes, and full service for Triumph enthusiasts, and much, much more. Come see us at Honda of North Little Rock, your family fun headquarters.
Down south, a handshake means something, and we let our actions do the talking. The Brad Hendricks Law Firm is rooted in Southern tradition and grit. Southern-born and raised and Arkansas-based, Brad Hendricks is named a Mid-South super lawyer year after year. So for car and big truck wrecks, medical malpractice, wrongful death, bankruptcy, and Social Security claims, his law firm produces results. The Brad Hendricks Law Firm. Southern roots, serious results.
Attention! If you suffer from consistent pain in your joints caused by arthritis, overuse, or injury, you may be a candidate for a revolutionary therapy that could revitalize damaged tissue. This approach can provide long-lasting relief from pain in your knees, shoulders, hips, and other joints with no surgery, no drugs, and no downtime. To find out if you're a viable candidate, you may request a free consultation from QC Kinetics by calling 501-600-2763. Instead of masking the symptoms, it goes to the root of the problem to resolve it at its source. Already used by thousands of satisfied patients nationwide, this joint pain therapy is available right now to the public, but only for qualified candidates. Again, to find out if you're a viable candidate for this therapy, you may request a free consultation by calling QC Kinetics at 501-600-2763. That's 501-600-2763.
Ray Tucker here for Honda of North Little Rock. If you're a fan of the Triumph motorcycles, I have good news for you. Honda of North Little Rock carries the legendary classics to the cutting-edge rides. We carry Daytona 600, the iconic Bonneville Bobber, the TF450X, the stunning Bonneville Elvis Presley Edition, plus the Rocket 3 Evel Knievel. We have gear, bikes, and full service for Triumph enthusiasts, and much, much more. Come see us at Honda of North Little Rock, your family fun headquarters.
This is the Pigskin Preacher, bringing you the word. Schrodinger's cat was a 1935 thought experiment by Erwin Schrödinger, illustrating the absurdity of quantum superposition applied to everyday objects. A cat in a sealed box is considered simultaneously alive and dead, a superposition, because its fate is tied to a subatomic event that may or may not occur, only settling into one state upon observation. Hence, Coach Cal's Razorbacks either won the NCAA championship or they did not. Doublebees treats you like you won the national championship with an array of tasty drinks, snacks, sundry items, and petrol, as the Euros say. Stop by today at one of our 34 stores across the natural state, and we'll take care of you. Doublebees. It's where you gas it, grab it, and go. That's Doublebees.
Ray Tucker here for Honda of North Little Rock. If you're a fan of the Triumph motorcycles, I have good news for you. Honda of North Little Rock carries the legendary classics to the cutting-edge rides. We carry Daytona 600, the iconic Bonneville Bobber, the TF450X, the stunning Bonneville Elvis Presley Edition, plus the Rocket 3 Evel Knievel. We have gear, bikes, and full service for Triumph enthusiasts, and much, much more. Come see us at Honda of North Little Rock, your family fun headquarters.
Back with Ray Tucker's Arkansas Outdoors, and we're going back up to Northwest Arkansas to talk to Donnie Stewart with Wilderness Riders, and that's a very unique opportunity up there. We talk a lot about the mountain biking development and how Northwest Arkansas has become such a destination for mountain biking, but it's also, for many, many years, been a great destination for power riding, four-wheelers, ATVs, and things like that. And that's where Donnie Stewart comes in with Wilderness Riders. Donnie, welcome to Ray Tucker's Arkansas Outdoors.
Hey, thank you. Great to be on.
Yes, sir. So tell us about your place in 4,500 acres in Newton and Madison counties, and just what a great place to have something like that.
Yeah, we're really fortunate to have been able to put this place together. It took us about 40 years to get it all put together to the point it is now, and we've got quite a few different trails that go by some really, really scenic features here. We're sandwiched in between the Sweden Creek Natural Area and the Buffalo National River Headwaters region. So couldn't have a more ideal place, and we are very much motorized friendly. We do everything from dirt bikes to all kinds of four-wheeled vehicles.
How do people find you? What's the contact information before we get started here?
One of the easiest things to do is just jump online, go to wildernessrider.com.
That's RIDER?
Wildernessrider.com.
And so you've got a lot of features there to see. It's not just, knocking rocks out of the way. How many waterfalls are on your property?
All told, we have about 24 waterfalls on the property, and some of them are pretty unique.
There's more waterfalls on this property than any other privately held property in Arkansas. We have one that we've named Hole in the Rock, and the water is wallowed out this, giant hole that plummets to a mid-level and then plummets again another 150 to 200 feet. It's just absolutely stunning Ozark wilderness at every turn.
Who are we speaking with here?
That's Lynn.
Hi there, I'm Lynn Stewart.
Hi, Lynn.
I thought Don had changed his voice.
Yeah,
on
it's like, wow, what happened there? Well, so y'all have y'all been in business for how long now?
We're in our 10th year this year.
So you all have hosted. Go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, in addition to the scenic riding and the opportunity for people that might not ever experience the wilderness to get out and do what Donnie calls moto hiking, and actually get out and appreciate what Arkansas has to offer, that you can only hike so far, but when you can take a motorized vehicle in and then have a short walk to see something phenomenal, it
unlocks it for a lot of people who otherwise might not ever get to see those features.
Y'all have had y'all have hosted some Jeep jamborees there and some national enclave type things, haven't you?
We certainly have. We've had quite a few different events up here, several national level races, dirt bikes. We've had lots of Jeep events. We've had side-by-side and ATV racing. And we like we say, we've got some of the prettiest just riding through the woods you could ever ask for.
We even had a stunning wedding at Hilltop last weekend.
Yeah, we see quite a few weddings and special events out here as well.
Now, do you rent bikes or no?
We don't rent dirt bikes. We do rent side-by-sides. So if you don't have one to get out there and check things out, you can still come see us, and we can put you out there anyway.
What does that cost me?
It's about $225 for a 2-hour period, $375 for a 4-hour period, and I believe $525 for a 6-hour.
And when you bring your own Jeep or your own side-by-side out or an ATV, it's a whopping $30 a day for the machine, the rider, and only $10 additional for each passenger that rides in that Jeep.
And it's almost like an objective to get your Jeep turned over in a way that it takes about 20 people to get it upright again.
Some people do feel that way. We can accommodate everything. Our trails range from mild to wild. So whatever you're looking to do out here, we can probably accomplish it.
So how deep into the ride before you start seeing the waterfalls?
Oh, my goodness. We've got several that are within a mile of the check-in area.
We have some campers that never take motorized vehicles anywhere. They just hike, and we're talking maybe quarter-mile, half-mile hikes.
In between waterfalls and features, that's correct.
How do the, I know that the CJs and those older Jeeps, the CJ5s and all that, real popular. How do the newer ones hold up to that kind of use?
They seem to do fairly well. As long as you're okay with getting a few limb scratches, you're pretty well good to go on most of our trails. We do have some that are more suited for rock crawler type vehicles and not just your standard over the road 4x4.
All right, well, we are to the end of the line here. We're at the end of the trail on Ray Tucker's Arkansas Outdoors. We've been visiting with Donnie Stewart of Wilderness Rides.
And his wife, Lynn.
And Lynn, look them up when you're up that way and go and visit some waterfalls and kick over a few rocks with an all-terrain vehicle and enjoy yourself, because that's what we got in Arkansas. We got it all. Fishing, lure designing, and ATV trails. Yeah, thank you for hanging with us. Y'all have a good week.
You